Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick, your creativity and spiritual life coach, and welcome to another episode of Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations. And this week, I'm talking about the phenomena of feeling blocked as a creative. Blocked-ness to stillness. From Sylvia Plath, the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. And if you're wanting to up-level your creativity, I just want to give you a date for your diary, which is the 14th of August. That's a Wednesday. That's the next Creative Confidence Masterclass. The link to sign up is below, and this is for you if you want to rediscover your creative abilities, explore spiritual practices to enhance your creativity, build a strong connection with your intuition, and be able to integrate creativity easily into all aspects of your life. Also, if you haven't already, do feel free to join the Her Inspirations mailing list as well. You'll be receiving an email with every episode with additional points and resources and notifications of any exclusives. Again, the link is in the show notes below. From Vincent van Gogh: if you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. The most frustrating thing that creators can experience is the feeling of being blocked. When you're going through a period where it seems that there's no change, there's no new ideas, there's no growth. And also, as I'm speaking about creativity, remember I'm speaking about creativity in all aspects always, not just about relating to the arts. When you're wanting to create and you feel that nothing is coming through, you will get plunged into frustration, into sadness, into doubt, into fear. And when you approach work, your creativity with this perspective, not much is going to happen. Think about what these states bring up for you. Frustration is that internal anger. Sadness is that heavy-heartedness. Doubt comes solely from a lack of confidence, and your fear is worrying about whether you'll be able to do this or can you do this. So what can thrive from that kind of energy? Because it's contracted, it's pessimistic, it's powerless. You've got to a state now where you believe that there's a limited resource of energy, there's a limited resource of ideas. You're separated from your source, your intuition. You're in a short-sighted state where you're only seeing what is right now. You're getting into a state of not trusting. You're getting into a state of despondency. Nothing about any of those things is good. If you've decided that you're blocked, if you're going around saying that you're blocked, then you've brought into being, into reality, you've created by declaring it that you are blocked, and therefore it is so, and that's your experience. The way out of this is through this. And first is to examine what is happening. Reframe what is being experienced so that these so-called blocks will dissolve. If we think of a block in any area of our life where we want to bring something in, we're looking at the results of things not coming through, and we take on board that there's a block, there's a reason why we're not receiving what you want to be receiving, looking and seeing that everything looks the same, being in that contracted energy, and you feel that there are barriers, some sort of invisible energetic barriers about new ideas. You're being misguided. You're deciding that there's nothing else that you can do, and you've fallen into, whether we like to admit it or not, victimhood of the situation. And worse still, if you feel that you're in a block situation and then start to compare yourself to others who you believe are thriving effortlessly and producing when nothing of note or nothing at all is coming to you, then again, this is going to perpetuate that feeling of being blocked, of being unable to receive, unable to move forward, unable to see a way out. But what if we look at the blocks in a different way? The blocks that you are experiencing are an indicator. They're showing you many things. What if we looked at these so-called blocks and the way that they're making us feel as directions of things that we need to bring into our experience, areas that we need to grow. And the first thing to look at a block is when you're in that situation of being blocked, when you're in that feeling of not being able to move forward or not being able to do anything, why not embrace where you are? Why not embrace the opportunity to be still? Because usually things come into our experience for a reason. And maybe this blockness, maybe this stillness is exactly what you need. And can you stop and examine what you're feeling because of what you think is happening? Can you identify where you've lost connection to your flow of inspiration? Or have you really lost connection to your flow of inspiration? If this period of being blocked, if this period about not being able to move forward is keeping you still, isn't this your inspiration directing you to be still? And maybe you're just misreading the opportunity that has been laid in front of you. Have you, prior to this period of blockness, allowed things to get too loud and too complicated and too overwhelming? And this period of blockness now has brought you to a position of the opposite, where you get to experience the opposite and see what is around. Imagine taking the more empowered state, making the declaration that this moment of blockedness is actually this moment of stillness. This is your opportunity. This is your respite from the work. And in this stillness, in this blockedness, as I'm calling it, look at the opportunity you have to see what you're experiencing. In that frustration, in that internalized anger that you're feeling, what is it that you're feeling angry about? Is it solely that you're feeling angry about the work? Is there anger or frustration in other areas of your life that is being now reflected in what you're doing creatively? If we think in the moments when we're at our most creative, is in the moments that we're able to be in that flow state, is the moment when we're being more in contact with ourselves. So where has this frustration come from? The sadness, the heavy-heartedness. Yes, we're frustrated and we're sad that we're not producing, and we feel it, especially when we've experienced the joy and the ecstasy and the rapture of being able to create and bring something new in the world, to then go to the opposite side and realize what it's like to not have that is going to feel hard, is going to feel heavy. Where in your life is there heaviness? Where in your life is there sadness? What can be done to alleviate them? How does it need your attention at this moment? Also, when it comes to your doubt or lack of confidence, what have you forgotten that you can do? Because your doubt and your lack of confidence comes from you losing the belief in what you can do. Look at what you've already created. You can see that you can do this. You've done this before. Your intention to do this is enough of an indication that you can do this. Who are you listening to? Who are you allowing to infiltrate into your space that builds this lack of confidence, that builds this doubt in yourself? And when it comes to fear and worry, what are you afraid of? What are you concerned about the future? Are you feeling that you will never create again? And if your work relies on your creativity, that then that is going to affect the income that you receive. But you know that that's not true, and that fear and that worry is your imagination just going into the wrong end of the dial. Bring yourself back to remembering that your imagination is imagining the worst case scenario. That powerful imagination can also imagine the best case scenario and can bring to life all of the beautiful ideas that you've had before and you will have again. By asking these questions, what are these emotions highlighting for me? What are they a reflection from? Where else in my life am I feeling these things? What can I do to alleviate myself from this trap I've created in my mind? Because it's all in your mind. The best catalyst for creativity is always going to be curiosity. So when you come to this area of curiosity about what's happening in your life, what you're feeling, what's linking into you creating this idea of blockness, this is going to open you up again. It will open you up to discovering more about yourself. You'll be learning new things about yourself. You'll be then seeing new areas and new tools and new aspects that you can then start to bring out into your creativity. If you don't know what to do with those ideas or those thoughts, take it to the journal and start writing them down. Even if your output isn't based on writing, just by getting the flow of ideas and getting into tune with that conversation with yourself to go, what's happening here? What am I feeling? Where do I need to go? What do I need to learn? Curiosity is always the fuel for creativity. And also move your body. Where have you got stuck in your physicality? Are there ways that you can move and allow more space and more energy to open up? This can just be simple stretching. It can be just walking. It can be dancing. It just can be making sure that you're getting some freeness in the space that you work. Are you doing things in the same way? Are you working in the same way? Are you working in the same physical space? Is there something that you can do to change that, to be in a different area, to see different things, to hear different things, to talk to different people? Is there a way that you can up-level your skills and take it away from being a producer and now take on more information and challenge yourself to open up in an area that you haven't done before, by seeing more of what you're capable of learning and the capacity that you have for new ideas, for new learning, for expanding on your craft and your knowledge? That will give you more tools, more crayons in the box, as it were, to play with. If you're relying on what you already know and trying to work from the same processes and the knowledge bank that you have, how possible can it be to create anything new? There are so many ways for you to expand. You can have new conversations, listen to conversations. You can take a course, hire a coach, improve yourself in many different ways. Look at where you've become blocked. Look at where you've become narrow-minded. Expose yourself to things outside of your usual world. Look at what you believe in. Look at your beliefs and look at the opposite. Speak to people who have the opposite viewpoint of you. Open your mind to different ways of looking at the world. This is not you trying to change your beliefs, but it's really looking at the possibility of how do other people see the world. And while you might not radically shift your mindset, you will open yourself up to know that there is more, and maybe even just by understanding how somebody got there, that there's a different path, that there's a different way of being, will open you up to being more creative. And remind yourself every day that you are a creator. Your block, your so-called block, is just exposing you to a limiting stance that you have. You're not blocked. You're only blocking your own awareness. From Eric Fromm, creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. Thank you for listening to me on another episode of Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations. If you're enjoying this episode and if you enjoy Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations in general, please leave a review and also share this episode with anybody you feel would benefit from the content within. You can find out more about me on my website. It's carolmaywhittick.com, carolmaywhittick.com. Also find me on Instagram, Kazmick, Kazmick, and on Facebook and LinkedIn, Carol May Whittick. Until the next episode, enjoy your week. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.